What's Will Stein's record going to be with Kentucky football?
We're giving season predictions later in August, I would say. Nick, I'm hovering between 6-6 and 7-5.
Okay. I think he.
I would say probably 6-6, but if the schedule opens up, I think 7-5. Schedule late, I think, has a chance to really open up for Kentucky potentially.
All right, but this is his overall record, his career record at Kentucky. I'm going to say.
Oh, okay, yeah.
20 and 10. That puts it a little more. 24-10, 3-year run. Is that a conservative? I'm not going to go quite cousin Shane and say that he's so good in year one that he leaves. That was a funny prediction. But, that's just me shooting from the hip. I kind of hope Will Stein's good enough to leave here within 5 years. It's kind of where I think this thing might be headed. So,
yeah, that's a fascinating way to look at it, or question to ask that way.
Because Rich Brooks won 30 games in 5 years, give or take.
I feel like I'll have a better feel for that answer after the first year.
Yeah, and the other part too is I found this while getting ready for SEC Media Days. The variance in records, predictions, when you have these 9-game schedules, it's just so much tougher. I find it a lot more difficult to just stake my flag in the ground and have a strong take, because it feels like the middle of this league is just a lot of the same. So what's the injury situation going in on a game-to-game basis? What's the momentum like? And then what stars sort of rise to the occasion? South Carolina, for example, fascinating team. They could be 9-win good or 4-win bad. And
I think there's a bunch of teams like that on Kentucky's schedule.
It's crazy. It really, and that's what I think makes it hard to do it just for this year alone. But also speaking about Stein, just his long-term future, because the thing we said all the time is that the SEC is the closest thing to the NFL. This is when you're actually getting it like the NFL, where the record is now going to reflect more like an NFL team's record, where you can you'll have postseason aspirations with a couple of losses, right? I feel like I'm getting into a good season for me, Pittsburgh Steelers fan, at 9-8, right? That's all right, we're about 8 wins. That, there's going to be a lot of teams that have to come to that harsh reality. So that I just think, generally speaking, it is a lot harder to do the record stuff because there's just going to be so much variance in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, it's just hard to say. I feel like if he stays longer than 3, he's probably here for 12. That's my hunch.
Yeah.
My thing is I think at Kentucky you can get Kentucky-ized, and you're seen in a certain light here. I'll be interested to see if he's seen that way after 3 years or so. I think you get cast in a certain light. I think Drinkowitz is getting some of that now.
Yeah,
where I think
there's no doubt. If you can stay too long at a place and then all of a sudden you're I don't want to say stuck, but you kind of are. That luster, just the shine wears off some. Even if you have accomplished a lot, I do think the one difference between Stoops' biggest issue was just style of play. Whereas,
that's where I was gonna get to. But how does it if they are having top 10 to 15 offenses, maybe that's the way to break the Kentucky-ization from your just